Hello, I'm Daniel Robbins. So I thought I'd recite you a passage from Psalm 19. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line has gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and its circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. And then it gets into the law of the Lord, or Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul, etc. So I wanted to talk to you about... Here, let me give you a drum roll. Let me get this in here. My shoulder's getting in the way, sorry. And here comes my finger. This thing right over my shoulder. I'm going to show it to you with the lights off. There's our waning gibbous moon. I'm going to cover it up with my finger. And now I'm going to uncover it again. So it's a waning gibbous moon. And when God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven," or luminaries, he said, "Let them be for signs and seasons and days and years." So that moon right now, you know what it's declaring to us? It's declaring, hey, you know these people that tell you that the sun is reflecting off of me? Can't be happening. Because look at where the sun would have to be in order to be reflecting off of me. And yet, let's take a look at where the sun did go down. I'm going to turn the lights back on. The sun went down. I'm just showing you out this window the general direction in which the sun went down. So of course, because it's winter, the sun rises and sets south of where I am. And this moon over my shoulder again is already pointing north. And here's my challenge. Watch it. Look at it in an hour, 2 hours from now, 3 hours from now. And as you see it rotate, it will point even more north than it already is. So right now it's pointing a little bit north, and it'll point even more north as it rotates, as it moves across the sky. Again, declaring very explicitly that it cannot be the sun that is reflecting off of it. Also, don't we already know that light isn't going to get very far reflecting off of something? So for example, look at this light over my shoulder, the ceiling light. Right there. Okay? Now, let's look at its reflection off of the cupboard, the brown cupboard, even the white wall. Let's see if we can find a white wall for it to reflect off of. Let's look at this door. See over my shoulder? It's reflecting off the door. Well, how far is that reflection going to get? Thousands of miles? Hundreds of thousands of miles? So silly spherical theorists would have us believe that light not only can travel 93 million miles from the sun, and I've talked about this in a previous video, but I'm going to talk about it again because some of these things need to be repeated. So they say that light travels 93 million miles to this moon, and then the reflected light would have to travel 238,000 miles to reach Earth and then be this bright of a light. It's utterly silly, friends. And I want to invite you to be born again And some of you might say, well, I already am a born-again Christian. To that I would say, oh, exactly. I was too. And believe me, I needed to be born again. Look, in my opinion, I still need to be born again. How? I wait on God. And by the way, I wait on God like this. Psalm 81:10 says, open thy mouth wide and I will fill it. So here I go. Okay, I wait on God with an open mouth. Again, especially realizing that until the 8th month or August of last year, I was unaware that I lived on a flat earth. I was unaware of that. I thought I knew that I lived on a spherical planet or orbiting the sun. So once again, he says, open thy mouth wide and I will fill it. Oh, Daddy, whatever we need, whatever I need to know, let me be open to it. And I am resolved that my heart is going to be new wineskins, because he's got new wine to put into us, people. Don't be old wineskins. Be new wineskins. It doesn't work to put new wine in old wineskins. And don't make the Pharisees' mistake of thinking you already know anything. Remember the formerly blind man in John chapter 9? His eyes were opened, but they interrogated him and they said, give God the praise, for we know that this man was a sinner. And he said, what? Herein is a marvelous thing. You know not from whence he is, and yet he hath opened my eyes. And he concludes by saying, if this man were of God, he could do nothing. And they cast him out. They said to him, thou wast altogether born in sins, and dost thou teach us? Friends, let's not be like that. Christian friends in particular, if there's a pastor listening, don't be like those Pharisees thinking you know it all. You don't know it all. None of us know it all. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, and the Lord, or Yahweh, hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. And so I want to say, friends, okay, look over my shoulder. I just thought of something. Look at this. Now that's a reflection. That's the ceiling light reflecting off the glass. Okay, now let's turn around and see what the actual light looks like. Okay, so which one of these two looks more like the moon to you? I can definitely tell you that this looks like the moon as opposed to this, and see how diminished that already is, and that's reflecting off of glass, not off dirt. See, the moon is supposed to be covered in moon dust, right? Remember when they supposedly went to the moon? So yeah, here's another thing. Oh, friends, please bear with me, but we got to be born again here. So look at this moon. Okay, so again, I'm going to cover it up with my finger. That's how bright it is from here. And we're thousands of miles away from it. And according to silly spherical theorists, we're 238,000 miles away from it. So if it's that bright from here, just imagine how blazingly, blindingly bright it would be if you were actually standing on it, as if you could stand on it, and I don't believe you could. But according to spherical theorists, they did. Now, not only that, the moon, the light from the moon is cold. Now, silly spherical theorists will try to deny this known fact. Don't listen to them. And I'll tell you what, if that light is cold when it reaches here, it would be even colder coming right from the moon. So then, if those astronauts had actually been standing on the moon, in my opinion, they would have, frozen solid. It would have been frozen solid right on the spot. Anyway, thanks for listening to what I had to say, and I want to wish you a happy Luminaries, also known as Sun, Moon, and Stars Day. And again, as I recited before, Psalm 19, to the chief musician, a psalm of David. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. So again, that moon there, it's speaking, it's declaring, it's proclaiming God's glory, and it's proclaiming, hey, the sun is not reflecting off of me. But do you have eyes to see it? Do you have ears to hear it? Let's be hungry souls. Okay, Proverbs 27. The full soul loatheth an honeycomb, but to the hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. Let's be hungry souls. Let's look at the moon. Let's get educated. And let's expose these child sacrificing and satanic ritual abusing of children Freemasons. And with that, I will say good night.